You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. This is a message I'm constantly reminding myself of. You know, it's so easy in our society today to, feel behind, feel, inadequate when you look at societal standards of where you should be for your life, right? And I think it's something you have to really be mindful of. You have to be intentional with, because if you just kind of allow society to cloud your vision and get in the way of your path, you're always going to feel behind. You're always going to be comparing, your journey to the person to the left and the right, especially with social media and media in general nowadays. It's so easy to be on there and see all these things that people are doing and feel like you're behind, right? Whether it's financially, relationally, career-wise, maturity-wise, whatever it may be. Like, we have all of these expectations that come from the external world, and they, like I said, cloud our vision and make us feel like we're behind because we're not up to societal standards, And something that I'm constantly reminding myself of is, how can you be behind if there's nobody else in your journey? Like, literally, like, there's nobody else in your path, in your journey. How can you be behind? Who are you behind of? Right? And that's the illusion that society will create, that social media will create, that you're in competition with all of these people, around you and in the world. And if you're not where the top person is, then you're behind, right? And it's like, hold on, man. We got, 15, 16, 17-year-olds feeling like they should have their whole life figured out. And we got, 30, 40-year-olds feeling like, they're a failure because they haven't done all of these things that society said they should have did by that time. And it's like, hold on. You are a one of one on your own unique path. Take a deep breath and understand that you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. And maybe where you are isn't necessarily where you want to be, right? But you need to be there because you're there for a reason. And one of the biggest things that will save you so much, stress and rigidity on your journey is just being able to accept where you are so that you can move forward. A lot of us, we create so much more resistance in our journey because we're not able to accept where we are, because we're constantly fixating on where we want to be. We're constantly comparing ourselves to other people. And so where we are isn't enough, right? We can't be okay here. You know what I mean? And it causes so much inner frustration, right? Inner turmoil, when you need to take a step back. You need to take a deep breath, right? Be there for you. Like, on this journey, so much of, you being able to grow and evolve is being there for yourself, being able to have your own back. So when you're feeling these things, take a breath, be there for you, and tell yourself, I am not behind. I am exactly where I need to be because I'm on my own unique journey. What the universe is doing in my life is unique to me. So I cannot compare my timeline to other people's because there is nobody else on this path with me. It's just me, right? It's just me, right? And I know it's easier said than done because, we have high expectations for ourselves. We have visions and dreams of the things that we want to do and the timeline that we want to do them by, right? But you have to remind yourself that good things take time and you're on your own unique journey, right? And you're not them, they're not you. You're not them, they're not you, right? You're not them, they're not you, right? So it may look good on social media. It may look like this and that, whatever it may be, but you're not them, they're not you. You're not on their path. So where they are isn't where you're supposed to be, right? Maybe in societal standards, yes. But like I said, you cannot judge your life based off of what society tells you is right or wrong. If you do that, you will always be a prisoner to the external world. You will never have real agency and control over your life, right? And it's not necessarily, when I say control over your life, I'm not talking about controlling everything in your life. No, I'm talking about focusing your energy on the things that you actually have control over and striving to be the best version of yourself in those areas, right? But if you allow society to tell you what's right or wrong for your life, you're always going to be a prisoner to what society wants you to do, and you'll never feel good enough. There will always be somebody with more money. There will always be somebody who's, better looking or farther gone in their career, whatever it may be. You'll always feel less than. And so you have to be so incredibly intentional with kind of stepping away from that programming and conditioning that society makes you feel, makes you, ingrained in since a kid, to be at this place, to be doing these things, to have all this stuff figured out. It's like, hold on, take a breath. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. You need to just trust in the process. Create a vision for your life. So many of us feel behind or feel directionless or feel purposeless because we don't have a vision. We don't know where we're going. We're not moving with purpose. Create a vision for your life, whatever that looks like. This is where you tap into your imagination, like what you did when you were a kid. You just were imagining different things. You just trying different things. Do that right now with a vision. Really think about what it would be like to be living at the highest, best version of yourself, right? Most authentic, aligned version of yourself. What would that person be doing? What types of things would you be, indulging in? What types of things would you be, doing? You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. And so, yes, create a vision. And then backtrack. Okay, what are the daily steps, the daily processes that align with that vision? And every single day you wake up, focus on putting one step in front of the other and doing those things to the best of your ability. You are not going to be perfect. You're not always going to get things right, but at least you have some sense of direction. And you've created guardrails because you have a vision and you have a process that aligns with that vision. So those are your guardrails to help you stay on track. So now you know when you're moving in a direction that isn't aligned. Now you know when you're doing things that don't really align with the vision or the person that you're trying to become, right? But you have to give yourself grace, and you have to understand that becoming the best version of myself takes time. That is a process, that is a journey. It's not an overnight thing, right? So I have to give myself time, right? I have to be patient with myself. I have to give myself grace, because this is a journey that is going to take time. So remind yourself of that. When you're going through your journey and, you're falling into, that framing that you're behind. No, you're not, right? And it's okay if you fall into that. You are a human being. It's natural to feel behind sometimes, right? It's natural to fall susceptible to looking on social media or looking around, and feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be. It's natural, but this is where you have to be your best friend, not your biggest enemy. So often when we feel those things, we beat ourselves up, right? We talk crazy to ourselves. No, be your best friend in those moments. Hey, yo, bro, I know you feel these things, but you're exactly where you need to be. And if we just keep trusting the process, if we just keep taking it day by day, one step at a time, I promise you're going to get to where you need to be, right? I promise you're going to get to where you need to be. And I believe that in every fiber of my being. And it's something I'm constantly reminding myself of, right? There's been so many times in my past where I felt like I needed to be somewhere else other than where I was. And it wasn't until later down my journey I looked back and was like, no, I was exactly where I needed to be. I needed to go through that, right? I needed to experience that, right? So give yourself grace and understand you're exactly where you need to be. You're going to get to where you're meant to get to. I promise you. If you have the right perspective, if you really move with intention, if you really trust in the process, I guarantee you are going to get to where you need to be, where you're meant to be, right? And it's going to be a beautiful thing one day when you get to tell your story about all the times where you had those fears and those doubts and those insecurities about your journey, but you kept showing up. You kept taking it day by day. And now you can look back and be so grateful for those moments, right? Because look at the person you've become. So yes, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace and understand you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Right? I needed to hear that message because that was just something that was heavy on my heart. That was just something that was heavy on my heart. So yes, you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Trust in the process. Love y'all.